Boom, hey YouTube, it's me, Nate Lovelady. So come to find out, my mother, after she pulled me from the program, dedicated 5 years of her life to investigating the program. Um, I had no idea any of this happened, and she basically just blew my fucking mind. So she partnered with a watchdog group by the name of Isaac, the International Survivors Action Committee. She went to them and she said, I launched my own independent investigation. I'm a paralegal. I had the resources of many attorneys and a private investigator on my side, at no cost for the cause. So she compiled tons of information, and she was able to compile tons of information via the Freedom of Information Act. What she did is she started creating binders and logging everything that she got as far as testimonies from former students, former parents. Um, she got a hold of every police report, anything that pertained to the program, not just Ivy Ridge, but any program anywhere. She accessed. So when she partnered with Isaac, the International Survivors Action Committee, um, she linked up with two women who were ultra advocate warriors. One woman, Donna Hendrick, who has since passed, God rest her soul, and Susan Earnshaw. So these two women were basically a thorn in Robert Litchfield's side. They were some of the first whistleblowers on these programs. Before WASP was even WASP, these ladies were up Robert Litchfield's ass. He hated these women. He couldn't stand them. It it was the type of thing where he'd close his eyes and they were there. So Susan Earnshaw, she was a journalist, and she reported, I believe, for the Intrepid, but she did all of her work exclusively with Isaac. So when my mom really, really dove headfirst into this, she immersed herself and she put herself out there and she made her name known to a lot of people that were quite evil people. Amongst WASP associates, amongst Ivy Ridge associates, it was known what she was doing, and she was stepping on a lot of toes. She was getting at least two students pulled a month, every month, from various programs throughout WASP. She was going out of her way to meet with parents and families and warn them not to put their children in these programs. Um, And what did that do? Between the three of them working together, that cost WASP a shit ton of money. So much money. Think about that. Think about two students a month just for 4 months. What does that come out to? That's about 40. That's probably about $60,000. Boom, right off the top. Helicopter in the sky. Pause. They're not looking for me. All right, there it goes. So what this all boils down to, and it keeps coming back to, is follow the money. These three women, one of them my mom, started costing WASP a shit ton of money and a shit ton of exposure. Well, my mom was able to figure out how to break into the WASP Parents Forum. So what she had done is she had accessed the Parents Forum and she started telling parents what was going on, posting messages. She basically relayed the names of kids that I saw to be abused on the regular. She relayed them onto this forum saying, if you're the parent of this child, you need to go get your kid right now. She told everybody, get your kids the fuck out of there. Do it. Do it as soon as you can. She sang that shit to the fucking sky, man. And it it came back. So she doesn't know who sent these people, but somebody, when she was gone overnight, was sent to ransack her home. She came home and the doors were open, and the home was ransacked. But the only things that were missing, that she knew specifically to be missing, were the binders of testimonies, evidence, things like that. There were some CD-ROMs that were missing. The CDs were all blank and didn't have anything of importance on them. Most of the work that she had there was file work. But thank God, most of it had already been sent to state representatives, the state attorney general, the district attorney general, journalists, and it was all backed up at the law office she worked at. So it was, I don't think it was an attempt to extract information and destroy it. I think it was an attempt to, quite frankly, scare the fucking shit out of her. Because at that point, her name was floating around WASP and it was well known. And we all know what these people were capable of. So she was utterly terrified. She stopped right then and there. She was trying to get some normalcy back in our life, and she just wanted this to be done. And she, over anything, she didn't want to scare me. I was with my grandparents at the time. My mom's a single parent, so she was living on her own. She was terrified to come home at night now because somebody had already broken into the home and ransacked the house, and there's no way that it couldn't have had anything to do with what was going on, because the only items missing were the items that were pertaining to any investigation, or to the investigation. That in itself is terrifying and shocking, but what's also quite shocking is I saw with my own two eyes two sworn affidavits that went to the state attorney general and the paperwork that went to the district attorney general. Nothing was done. Nobody did anything. My mom went to the New York State Police. She went to the Ogdensburg Police. She went to Intrepid News. She gave testimonies, interviews for Inside Edition. They used her information on the Inside Edition report, and things were getting set to have a hole blown wide open in this entire thing. And they did what they do best. They instilled fear and they scared the hell out of her. And she said, I'm stopping right then and there. I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. I love my son. Our relationship, our life is getting better. And, you know, she had done what, quite frankly, she needed to do. She passed all the information along to all the people that needed to see it and all the people in power that truly could have done something, and nobody did anything. The district attorney knew about this. This information made it to somebody's desk 21 years ago, as well as the New York State Police, and the state attorney saw information on this as well. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. There's so much more to talk about. I had no idea that my mom was doing any of this. This was all new to me. I called her last night to tell her, hey, you know, you need to check out this documentary. She hasn't seen it yet. She didn't know about it. And she started bawling, crying, and she basically was an open book and told me everything. I didn't believe it. And then she started breaking out binders and binders of information and people corroborating her story, and my mind is just absolutely fucking blown. And I can tell you something, guys, for the first time in my life, my mom is my fucking hero, man. She was a warrior. And they tried to silence her. And, you know, she was terrified. She was scared. But here we are. We're right back full circle, and we're going to get these people, man. So It's quite shocking. It's pretty scary shit. They 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 sent goons and they ransacked our home. It's scary, you know. And leading up to that, that means somebody had to have been watching. Somebody had to have been watching her, watching the home. That's fucking frightening shit right there. And you know how powerful these people are and the money they had and what they're capable of. And when you think about it in terms like that, there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, anybody could have made a phone call from anywhere, even from inside the facility at Ivy Ridge. You know, who knows if Finlinson or some fucking idiot had a couple buddies. You know, we lived in a redneck town in Michigan. Who knows he didn't have a couple hunting buddies that came up to Ogdensburg every once in a while, or whatever. And it was simple as something like that. And then who's to say that somebody high up at WASP, you know, that was buddies with Litchfield, knew that, you know, Litchfield hated Donna, Susan, and my mom, and you know, wanted to go ahead and send the message. So there it is, guys. There's the bombshell. You know, this could potentially blow a hole wide open in this thing too. That, you know, the district attorney and everybody, they knew about this shit all these years ago. I have sworn affidavits. I have the police report from the day after I was pulled. The day I got out of there, I said, fuck this, man. We're going to the police. And we went to the police the next morning. Mr. Brad punched me in the chest. I had a big ass fucking bruise on my chest. And those pictures still exist to this day. I have the police report, the whole 9 yards. So all the evidence is there, guys. Ask me anything. Anybody wants to reach out to me. This is some pretty heavy shit. If there's any parents, I'd love to hear from parents. Any parents that are out there that pulled their kids from the program. Any parents that my mom ran into. If you remember her, you know, it'd be really cool to hear. But I had no idea any of this was going on. Guys, much love and respect for all of you. I've been up all night again, investigating, talking to my mom, going through paperwork and stuff. These binders that she just dropped on me. You know, the first thing she did is she sent them all over via email. I started going through them, and yeah, we that's it. It's been a real hell of a ride all night. So, guys, love you all. Much love and respect. We're going to keep talking, and we're going to keep fighting. It's time for the process to kill the program. Over and out.